If you jumped into the Mariana Trench wearing the world's strongest iron armor, you would not die of drowning, but turn into a brick in seconds. At 11,000 meters, the pressure is so intense it can turn human bone to powder and shatter every law of physics you have ever known. But the craziest part? There are things still living, hunting, and even looking back at us from the crushing blackness of this underwater alien world. Humans have reached the moon 12 times, but fewer than 30 people have ever touched the bottom of this silent and terrifyingly deep oceanic abyss. This is not just an ocean. It is a different planet right here on Earth, holding secrets that challenge our understanding of biological life and survival. Today, we are taking a suicide mission to the deepest point on the planet to see why this hidden world should not even exist at all. Our journey begins in the Twilight Zone, between 200 and 1,000 meters, where the sun's warm light finally begins to lose its battle. In this realm, colors betray you. Red is the first to vanish, leaving behind a cold, monochromatic world where everything looks like a ghostly blue shadow. Here, your eyes are your enemy, so creatures do not look for shapes. They hunt by sensing the tiny electrical pulses of your very heartbeat. The infamous anglerfish waits here, using its glowing lantern to trick desperate prey into swimming directly into a mouth full of sharp, needle-like teeth. Bioluminescence is the only currency of light used for communication, mating, and luring victims into the dark embrace of the deep ocean's hungry hunters. We are now entering the Abyssal Zone, reaching 4,000 meters deep, where the temperature drops to near freezing and the pressure becomes truly crushing. Welcome to the home of giants. Things that are tiny on the surface grow to massive proportions here, a phenomenon known as deep-sea gigantism. Why does a bug that is normally the size of a bean grow as large as a pig down here? The answer lies in survival. Low temperatures and high pressure slow down their metabolism, allowing these creatures to live for decades and grow continuously without the usual biological limits. In the silence of the abyss, time seems to stop, and these giants move like slow-motion ghosts through a world that has not changed in millions. Life here depends on what falls from above, or the chemicals spewing from the Earth's crust, creating an ecosystem that survives without a single photon. But as we go even deeper, past 6,000 meters, the rules of biology change again, and the giants begin to disappear into the Hadal Zone. At this depth, calcium cannot stay solid. The extreme pressure and chemistry of the water actually dissolve bones, making traditional skeletons a physical impossibility. Meet the Mariana snailfish, a creature with no scales and bones as soft as jelly, surviving where the weight of 1,600 elephants is pressing. These fish do not fight the pressure. They become the pressure, their bodies filled with special fluids that keep them from imploding in this liquid hell. Every movement is a miracle of engineering, as these fragile-looking animals thrive in a place that would crush a nuclear submarine like a tin can. We have finally reached the Challenger Deep, the absolute end of the world, nearly 11,000 meters down, where the floor is not made of sand. The bottom is covered in a thick, gelatinous mud made of marine snow, the remains of billions of dead organisms that have fallen for millions of years. This is a graveyard of the entire ocean, a miles-thick layer of biological dust that captures the history of life on Earth in its cold, silent grip. Standing here is like standing on another planet, but even in this untouched sanctuary, we have found something that should never be there. The most terrifying thing at the bottom of the world is not an alien monster, but a simple plastic bag, discarded by a human thousands of miles away. Scientists have discovered microplastics inside the stomachs of creatures that have never seen the sun, proving that our waste reaches deeper than our curiosity. It is a bitter paradox. Even in the most remote, hostile environment on our planet, the footprint of human destruction is already deeply and permanently embedded. We are poisoning a world we barely understand, leaving a legacy of trash in the very place where the Earth's most mysterious life forms struggle to survive. But there is another mystery. The Mariana Trench is actually eating the ocean, acting as a giant drain for billions of tons of seawater every year. This water travels deep into the mantle, fueling massive volcanic eruptions and creating new islands, proving that the death of the ocean is the birth of land. The trench is a vital part of a planetary machine, recycling the very elements of life in a cycle that spans millions of years and miles of rock. We have touched the bottom, but we still know almost nothing. If something truly massive is sleeping under that mud, would we even want to wake it? The Mariana Trench remains a reminder that Earth still holds secrets far beyond our reach. Do you believe monsters still hide in the dark? Share your wildest theories in the comments and subscribe to join us as we explore the next cursed and beautiful corners of our mysterious blue planet. Down here, every light is a beacon, and every movement is a dance for survival in a world that never sleeps. Some snails here have shells made of iron, literally armoring themselves against the hostile chemistry of the vent-rich ocean floor. Back on the surface, we watch through digital eyes, realizing that we are looking at a frontier as alien as the surface of Mars. To understand the weight of the water, imagine trying to balance 50 jumbo jets on your thumb. That is the pressure of the Mariana. Life finds a way, even in the most toxic environments, turning chemical poison into the energy needed to thrive in the total absence of light. While many believe the megalodon is extinct, the mystery of the trench keeps the legend alive in the hearts of those who fear the unknown. We discover new species every time we visit, suggesting that thousands of alien-like creatures are waiting for their moment to be named by science. When our lights fail, the true beauty of the trench reveals itself in a silent, pulsing light show of biological neon and wonder. Every grain of mud is a story, a microscopic record of the surface world that has been buried for eons in this underwater vault of time. If you were to drop a stone from the surface, it would take more than an hour to reach the bottom of this incredible underwater canyon. The barrel-eye fish has a transparent head so it can look through its own skull, scanning the faint light above for the shadows of its prey. Tube worms thrive in the heat of hydrothermal vents, living in a symbiotic relationship with bacteria that turn sulfur into food for their hosts. Getting there is half the battle. The surface of the Pacific is often as violent as the depths are calm and silent. The walls of the trench are jagged and ancient, carved by the slow and powerful movement of the Earth's crust over millions of long years. Silent hunters glide through the darkness, their bodies perfectly adapted to the crushing weight and the lack of traditional sight and hearing. The trench is a window into the Earth's interior, where the heat of the core meets the cold of the deep ocean in a violent dance. To see this world with your own eyes is to realize how small and fragile we are in the face of nature's true power and scale. The creatures of the Hadal Zone look more like science fiction than biological reality, pushing the very limits of what we call life. Every mission is a leap into the unknown, a gamble against the most extreme conditions found anywhere on the surface of our home planet. The presence of plastic here is a silent cry for help, a sign that our impact on the environment is deeper than we ever imagined. Time moves differently here. A single centimeter of mud can represent thousands of years of the Earth's long and complex biological history. Even the mightiest creatures of the surface are dwarfed by the sheer scale of the abyss that lies beneath their silent and peaceful swimming. Beneath every rock and inside every handful of mud, there is a hidden world of microscopic life that defies every rule of modern biology. The trench is the Earth's greatest mystery, a place where the planet consumes itself and gives birth to new life in a never-ending cycle. Navigating this terrain requires nerves of steel and technology that can withstand the most hostile forces known to the human race today. Some animals here don't even look like animals. They are geometric shapes of flesh and light, evolved for a world we can't even imagine. We have only mapped a tiny fraction of the trench, leaving 99% of this abyss a complete and total mystery to our science. Even the smallest shrimp in the trench is a masterpiece of evolution, built to survive the crushing weight and the freezing cold of the deep. Occasionally, we find the remains of our own history, lost to the depths and preserved forever in the cold, oxygen-poor water of the abyss. Sound travels differently here, becoming a low, haunting moan that can be heard for miles, carrying the voices of the ocean's deepest secrets. The falling debris is the lifeblood of the trench, a slow-motion rain of nutrients that supports an entire world hidden away from the sun. Beauty and terror exist side by side in the Hadal Zone, where every creature is both a predator and a marvel of biological engineering and light. The future of exploration lies in these machines, capable of going where no human could ever survive for more than a few terrifying seconds. In the silence, life happens fast. When food is rare, you must be the fastest and most efficient hunter to survive the long, dark nights. If you stacked 13 Burj Khalifas on top of each other, they still wouldn't reach the bottom of the Mariana Trench from the ocean's surface. We are just visitors in this vast blue world, trying to understand a place that has existed long before the first humans ever walked the earth. The imagination of man is nothing compared to the reality of the deep, where nature has had millions of years to create its own monsters. Even the lowliest worm is a jewel in the dark, reminding us that life's diversity is limitless, even in the most extreme and inhospitable places. What is still waiting for us down there? The more we look, the more we realize that the greatest discoveries are still yet to be made. Every piece of trash we find is a reminder of our responsibility to the planet and the far-reaching consequences of our everyday actions and choices. The ocean is a giant, interconnected system, and what happens at the surface eventually finds its way to the deepest, most remote corners of the world. What we discard as trash becomes a permanent part of the deep-sea landscape, a tragic monument to the era of human convenience and global waste. The pollution is invisible but deadly, affecting the smallest organisms that form the foundation of life in the deepest parts of our world's oceans. To find our own waste in a place we have barely explored is a wake-up call that we can no longer ignore the health of our oceans. The Mariana Trench is not just a hole. It is a gateway where the Earth's surface is dragged down and transformed into the stuff of new worlds. This massive recycling program keeps our planet alive, balancing the water and chemicals that make life possible on both land and in the sea. The very islands we call paradise are born from the dark, crushing pressure of the trench, a beautiful example of nature's endless and perfect cycle. Everything is connected. The health of the abyss is the health of the surface, and the secrets of the deep are the secrets of our future. As we conclude our journey, the trench remains a vast, uncharted territory, a place where the rules of life are rewritten with every new discovery. The eyes that look back at us from the dark are not those of monsters, but of survivors, perfectly adapted to a world we are only beginning to see. The Mariana Trench is the ultimate frontier, a place that humbles our pride and challenges our knowledge with its infinite, silent, and crushing depth. In the end, we are left with more questions than answers, a testament to the enduring mystery and beauty of our incredible and diverse home planet. The deep ocean is our last great unknown, a place where the past, present, and future of life on Earth are all written in the mud. The next time you look at the ocean, remember that beneath the surface lies a world that defies imagination and challenges everything we think we know. Every creature is a star in its own dark universe, lighting the way through a world of extreme pressure and eternal, cold, and silent night. Communication here is a dance of light, a silent language spoken by creatures that have evolved to thrive in the absolute absence of any sun. The intelligence of the deep is a mystery we have yet to solve, as creatures with complex behaviors thrive in a place so alien to us. Perhaps one day we will not just visit the deep, but call it home, building a future where humanity and the abyss live in perfect harmony. These chimneys are the lifeblood of the trench, providing the heat and chemicals needed to support a thriving and unique ecosystem of deep-sea life. Survival in the trench is not for the weak. Every feature and every behavior is a calculated response to the most extreme environmental challenges on Earth. This gentle rain of debris is the foundation of an entire world, a slow-motion transfer of energy from the sunlit surface to the eternal darkness. Beauty is everywhere if you know where to look, even in the coldest and most pressurized corners of our incredible and mysterious blue home planet. The cycle of life continues, even here, a brutal and beautiful dance that has played out in the dark for hundreds of millions of long years. Nature's artistry is unmatched, creating masterpieces of light and form that may never be seen by human eyes without the help of modern technology. We return to the surface changed, with a new respect for the power and mystery of the world that lies beneath the calm and blue waves. Remember their faces and their stories, for they are the true masters of the deep, thriving where nothing else should ever be able to exist. The trench will always be there, a silent sentinel of the Earth's history, and a constant reminder of the infinite mysteries that still remain unsolved. Do you have a theory about what else might be hiding down there? Join the conversation and help us uncover the secrets of the deep blue. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey. Until next time, keep exploring and keep wondering about the beautiful world we call home.